just feeling really anxious still about going off to college.
Right. I remember in our last session you were talking about how you're about to go off to college and you were feeling a little worried about that. So has that anxiety, has it increased or decreased, do you think?
It's increased.
Increased. Do you have any ideas as to why that is?
Well, college is now less than 5 weeks away. So,
what worries you the most about going to college?
Their roommate situation.
How does having a roommate worry you?
Well, I'm gonna be assigned a roommate, and I'm not gonna know her, and I don't like strangers, and what if we just don't get along?
Is that the main thing that concerns you?
Yeah.
Can you imagine maybe what a good roommate would be like?
Someone who minds their own business and doesn't come in super late when I'm trying to sleep, or isn't super loud and doesn't have voiceover all the time, and gives me my privacy and doesn't steal stuff from me. Things like that.
So you've never had a roommate, is that correct?
No.
Can you elaborate more on that?
Well, I'm an only child, so I've never even had a sibling. So I've never really had to share anything, and I've never really had my space invaded. I mean, I had the whole upstairs of the house to myself. And, I don't know, I never really had any issues with other people like that.
Okay. So overall, what do you think it was like having, being an only child? In terms of friends, interactions?
I didn't make friends for a long time because there was really no one for me to play with, because during the times that I was outside, they were at school, and so for the first several years of homeschooling, I didn't have any friends. And then 2 new kids moved in, and they were both homeschooled, and so we got to interact. And they lived 2 houses away from me. So,
how did you get along with those friends?
What do you mean?
Well, did you see each other every day? Was it mainly friendly? Did you have any arguments?
No, I didn't have any arguments, really. I mean, one time, Callie threw the basketball up in a tree and it got stuck, and we had an argument about that, but not anything major. Usually we get along pretty well.
Okay. Do you know if they're going to college?
Sarah is staying at home. Callie is going to college, but it's out of state.
Do you think you'll be able to make new friends?
See, I don't know, because those were kind of just handed to me, and my mom really pushed me to meet them, get to know them, and I don't really have, I don't know if I'll be able to do that on my own, and I've never been a really assertive person, and so I don't know if I can just make friends.
So what worries you the most about making new friends?
Just afraid that they're not like me, and I'm afraid they won't understand anything about me, and they may even think I'm not as smart because I was homeschooled.
So how do you think, if you had to guess, how do you think those who went to public school was different from your experience in homeschool?
Well, from what I know of public school, I've never gone, but they have a schedule, and they all eat lunch together, and they do sports together, and they just do everything together. And then you have friends, and a lot of friends, and share a lot in common, and go to each other's houses, and study together, and I'm just never really had that.
Do you have any peers that maybe went to public school or private school?
Well, I mean, yeah, but like I don't know any of them anymore. So I one time had a kid who lived across the street from me, and every time he saw me, which would usually be like after school for him, he would ask me like, "Why aren't you in school?" And would just look at me really weird. And I never really knew how to answer him. I mean, we were only 7 at the time, but he seemed to think I was really odd, and eventually he just started ignoring me, and then they moved, and I was glad to see him go because I didn't want that everyday reminder of me being different.
How do you feel now about that kind of experience?
Well, I think I feel better about it because we were just kids, and I don't think he really understood like what homeschooling was or even that it existed, and so he probably thought I was just a weird kid who for some reason didn't go to school like everyone else.
Okay, so you're going off to college soon. Has that always been a dream of yours to go?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I was kind of expected, kind of drilled into me, and I just kind of ran with it.
Can you elaborate on how you felt that it was expected?
Well, my parents didn't go to college, and they both regret that now. Um, and so they really pushed me to go, and that was one reason that I was homeschooled was because they wanted to make sure that I was given the best education, and they felt like the best way to do that was to teach me themselves. And so that's kind of what happened.
So what kind of career are you looking at after college?
Well, sorry, I didn't get much sleep last night. I was so worried about this. I think I want to be a doctor, and so I plan to go to medical school after the next 4 years, and I don't know what kind of doctor I want to be yet, but that's the goal.
Well, I think that's a very good goal, very ambitious of you to want to not only go to college but also continue in med school and be a doctor. Some colleges could give you the roommate that you would be paired up with in college. Do you think yours would be able to do that?
What do you mean?
Well, they could give you, the name or possibly contact information of the person that they're trying to pair you up with while you go to college.
I mean, I could ask them.
Do you think it would help you if maybe you met your roommate before going to college?
Possibly.
Do you think you would be able to? Do you think you'd be capable of doing that?
I don't know. I just don't like meeting strangers, and it just makes me nervous.
Some people, when they're scared of interactions, they like to possibly pretend, maybe do a role-playing exercise. Do you think you'd be up for that?
Yeah.
So why don't you be yourself, you be Ina, and I'll be your roommate.
Okay.
So would you like to go first?
Hi, my name's Ina. I'm gonna be your roommate.
Hi Ina, I'm Amy.
Nice to meet you, Amy.
It's nice to meet you too. So where are you from?
I am from Texas, in a small town.
Small town.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from a small town in Ohio.
Oh, okay.
So what kind of school did you go to?
Well, I didn't go to school. I was homeschooled.
You were homeschooled. I've never met someone who's homeschooled. What was that like for you?
It was different, but I liked it, I think.
Well, I went to a really big public school, and I didn't like it that much. We had like 50, 40 students in a class.
of sounds like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have liked that at all.
So how did you feel about that short role play?
That wasn't bad at all, but what if she says something else? What if she's mean?
What kind of things do you think she would say?
Instead of being like all casual about it, what if she was like, you went to homeschool? Like, you're so weird. Like, what if she's like that?
Well, what would you say if someone asked you into homeschool?
What do you mean?
Like, how would you explain your experience to them? Would you say it was a good experience?
I would say it was a good experience, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What about the amount of coursework you did? The amount of learning?
Well, my parents were very rigorous, especially with my two other friends. Like, my parents were very strict in comparison when it came to coursework, and they had me do just a lot of work and like made sure that I excelled in basically everything. And so if I didn't understand something, like they would make me practice and do extra work on it to like help me understand it. So I feel like it wasn't just a blow off education, but I feel like other people think it was, like is, because that seems to be the stigma around homeschooling.
Do you think maybe if you're put in a situation where someone would maybe have that idea of homeschooling, you could possibly tell them how good the experience is, how rigorous your coursework was?
Yeah, I mean, I could tell them, but they're probably going to say that's nothing. I mean, it was your parents. How bad could it have been? You know?
Could you maybe try to communicate with them on like what your favorite subject was, possibly?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just afraid that, like, if I was to tell them, like, oh, history was my favorite subject, they would, start asking me questions, and I would get so nervous that I wouldn't be able to answer them, and then I would look like an idiot because I can't give them the answers.
How does that make you feel that you would possibly react like that?
I just feel like I just don't really belong with other people. Like, I don't know how to interact with them. Like, I feel like I've been isolated all my life. Like, my parents sheltered me so much, even from, school. And even my friends seem to have been picked for me by my mom. Like, she was the one who pushed me to make them be friends. Like, I don't know.
Well, other clients that I've talked to that are college students or that have gone to college, they talk about how the experience is a little different because this is going to be the first time you're away from your parents. So would be like the first time you would get to choose your friends, you would get to choose, how long you studied, when you went to sleep.
I know, but even then, like, my parents expect a lot of me, and I can't let them down. Like, they have put so much effort into my education. I can't let them down. Like, I have to make really good grades.
Do you think it'd be helpful to maybe share that with them?
Not really, because, we all know it. They don't know that I'm, like, really afraid to go because I feel so, I don't know, like I can't measure up to other people.
Well, you shared that one of those big concerns would be having a roommate, right? So would maybe just the idea of interacting with people who are maybe your own age, maybe a store, do you think that would help you maybe?
I usually avoid them. If I see anyone my age, I like go the other way because I don't even want them to see me. Because I'm afraid they'll make remarks.
Well, some people some people are a little shy at first. Could it be possibly better to maybe try that? Maybe like go to a coffee shop and like just kind of small talk with someone.
I mean, I can try.
Do you think you could be able to do that? Do you think you'd feel a little better?
I mean, I think I would feel better if I was able to do it, but I'm just really not that confident. And I just don't feel like I'm that interesting of a person. I mean, other people my age have, done sports and extracurricular stuff, and all I've done is just stay home and done classwork. Like, I haven't really done anything.
Well, what kind of classwork do you think is your favorite?
History.
History?
Mm-hmm. I really like reading about, like, wars and what happened and all that stuff.
Well, in college there are history majors. So, I mean, interacting with them on that type of level, do you think you'd be a little comfortable with someone that maybe had that same type of love of history?
Probably.
Mm-hmm. So, when you find out your roommates and you contact them, do you think you would be able to maybe try to find a common ground with her?
Yeah, I'll try.
Do you think you'd be for that? To try to contact her before our next session? Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we've made definitely a lot of progress, and I can definitely see that you're trying to work through this problem. So our next session, we're going to talk about you trying to contact her. And okay. Sounds good for you? Mm-hmm. Thank you. Pause it?
No, we'll just pick up right now. Okay. So, Amy, last time you came in and you said your dog died, right? Okay. How's this week been for you?
It's been a tough one. I mean, I'm always used to MJ just being there and waking me up in the morning to take him for a walk. It's just been a really rough week because there's no one in the house. It's just me. And that's scary. I mean, I'm always paranoid all the time now. It's just so rough.
Okay. Do you have any other pets?
Yeah, that's my only one. I had him for 12 years. And he was an older dog.
What kind of dog was it?
He was a rat terrier.
Okay.
He was black and white.
So, what about your neighbors? Do you have any close neighbors?
I have two neighbors. One of them is a very nice older couple. The other ones are like the complete opposite. They're always just so loud. And they always leave, garbage and their mail everywhere. And it's just so annoying.
Alright. Do you have a good relationship with the nice neighbors?
I mean, we chat casually, we're going to our cars and we see each other. We say, hey, how's it going? But that's pretty much it. I mean, they're an older couple. They're probably in their late 50s.
have you been feeling depressed, would you say?
Probably just this last few months, maybe 4 months, 5 months.
And can you think of anything that has significantly changed in those last few months that might have triggered that?
Well, I mean, I lost my husband about 5 months ago.
Okay.
And then I just lost my dog, and so it's like everyone's just leaving me, and I'm just all alone.
Well, it's understandable that you feel that way. That's a lot of loss. I'm sorry. How long were you and your husband married?
We were married for me it felt like forever, but it was probably only like 7 years.
7 years, okay.
We were together 2 years before we got married, and
May I ask how he died?
well, he had this, he actually died immediately in a car accident.
Okay.
Just terrible.
How are you? How have you been coping with that aspect?
It hasn't been easy.
Of course not. Have you gone to visit any of his family lately?
I mean, I've talked to his parents. We talked to probably, I talked to his mother probably pretty constantly, and then kind of just died off in conversation.
Are they trying to show you any support, anything like that?
You know, I honestly, I don't even know anymore. I mean, I thought that they were, but I kind of feel like they want me to show them support.
I see. Then you feel like you're just not up to it. Okay. It's understandable. So, you lost your husband 5 months ago, and then your dog.
I knew my dog more than my husband. It's just, he was my best friend.
So, you do think the depression got much worse after the dog died?
Definitely. It was just, I mean, I know he was an older dog, but it was just so immediate for me, and I wasn't expecting it. I mean, he was 12 years old. I mean, I understand he was an older dog, but he was with me almost every single day for 12 years. And now this last week,
What were some things that you enjoyed doing before you got depressed, before your husband was killed? What were some things you enjoyed doing that made you happy?
well, I mean, I having a dog, you know, of course you love going to the park. So we go there at the lake. I mean, it's really hard to think of time before that.
So would you be interested, open in getting another dog right now?
You know, I always thought I would. I thought I would be the person that would have, multiple dogs. But, I mean, I don't know.
Could you maybe think about volunteering at a dog shelter or animal shelter?
I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, I guess I never really thought about that. I just think maybe the memories of my dog would come back.
The memories are going to be there, but we need to work through them. So, what's your favorite thing that you remember about your dog?
I mean, he was always so happy when I came in through the door, jumping around, barking. He was just always there. You know, when like me and my husband, if we would argue, he was there. If I had a rough day at work, he was there.
So what I'm hearing from you, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem to really like stability. Your dog was always there for 12 years, and with these recent changes, the world has just been flipped upside down. Would you say that's correct?
I suppose, yeah.
What did you do daily? Like, what did your day-to-day schedule look like before all this happened?
Well, I would wake up.
What time do you think you woke up at?
Well, I had to leave before 9, so probably around 7.
Okay.
And then I would take MJ out for a walk. He would probably bark at some cats. And then I would come home, feed him. I would get ready.
Did you have a job?
Yes.
Okay. What did you work at?
I worked as a teacher.
Okay. So, what grade level?
Well, I worked 5th grade.
5th grade. Did you like it?
Yeah, it was fun. Now that, it's the summer.
Right.
Different.
Do you think having that schedule of teaching helped you feel better? Like that was your day-to-day routine, and so you knew from the time you got up what the day was going to look like, and did that make you feel more secure and just happier knowing, like, here's what my day is going to look like?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've always liked to have, a schedule.
Okay. So, after work, what did you normally do?
Well, I would come home, and then I'd let MJ out again. He's been in the house all day. And then I would probably clean up a little. Probably always find something to clean. And then when my husband was here, I would wait for him to come home, and we would talk about our days, cook dinner.
So, you sound like you really love companionship. Would you say that?
Well, yeah, probably. I mean, had a dog for 12 years, and husband for, I've known him for 9. So, I mean, I always thought companionship was good. And then my parents, they've been married for almost 30 years. So.
Did y'all have a good marriage? I mean, from what you've said, it sounds like y'all had a really good marriage.
We did. I mean, we knew each other. We knew each other first as friends, and kind of just grew. So, I mean, he knew me probably more than anyone, and I probably knew him. I hope more than anyone.
Do you have any close friends that you have just talked to about any of this?
Well, I mean, everyone else has their own lives. I mean, I don't want to bother them with my issues. But they have issues of their own. They have children. Marriages.
But put yourself in their shoes. If one of them lost a husband, do you feel like you would find it a bother if they came to you and asked you questions?
No, but I mean, he's been gone for 5 months. I mean, I had friends that were there for me daily, and now I feel like I'm bothering them.
Okay. Right. Have you done anything that you enjoy recently?
this last week, and not really. I mean, I like to maybe draw or something.
Okay.
But
What about cooking? You said that you and your husband used to cook. Did y'all enjoy that?
yeah, he was always really good in the kitchen, and I wasn't my best. I think I was my mom, but I was okay. I liked learning new recipes and trying out new things. He was always really, if it didn't work out, he was always, reassuring and nice.
Do you feel like you could? Have you cooked any like recently since then?
Since my husband left,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have. I mean, well, after you lose someone, a lot of people bring over everything, so you don't really have to cook, honestly.
Yeah.
And then I started to try to, and it just sometimes it's hard.
Have you been able to express any emotion, like in any way to anybody? Like cry? Have you been able to cry at all?
Well, I mean, I just lost my dog. I just lost my husband. Of course, I was upset. I cried.
Okay. The reason I asked is because I want you to understand, like you need time to grieve, and it takes time. So it's okay to feel those emotions and don't try to bottle them up. So what I may have you do, just for the time being, is I want you, if you don't have a journal, I want you to go buy a journal. Just a cheap one, doesn't have to be pretty. And I just want you to start writing down anything you're feeling. You could even write letters to your husband, as if he was still here. I just want you to start processing some of the emotion. Okay? We're going to try that for a week. If I see no improvements, we may see about getting some medication, okay? So, but that's not really a path I want to go down if we can do it through changing some aspects of your life, okay?
Okay.
So, it's going to take a while, but I think slowly we can just take baby steps and get you back on track, okay? Alright, I'll see you.